Zdravo, namaste, and annyeonghaseyo. Hey,
You went again! Ah! You said the order at the beginning,
I know.
and then you're cutting the order. I mean, I guess it's like, it's natural for you.
It is the natural flow. It's the flow of things.
Just remember.
Okay, here we go.
Alright.
Okay. Zdravo, namaste, and annyeonghaseyo.
Hey, it's Trevor.
And Tom from GreenShortz, and this is video 2 on the camper build. And today we're going to be doing deconstruction on the trailer to get it prepared to build out.
Let's get started.
If you watched my first video, you'll know that TinkTube is the sponsor of the camper build series. TinkTube is a system of pipes, connectors, and accessories to empower your DIY projects.
Goggles on, baby, let's go.
Eyes and ears, JW. And a respirator when it's time to grind.
You're gonna grind stuff?
Pop around.
Wait, what just popped?
First, we will remove all the corner brackets, and those are just held in with screws. Old-fashioned screwdriver still works too. The bracket that's holding the bottom boards in is put in with a T20 bit, and I can't find my T20 bit, so I'm going to grind off the top of the screws. Alright, we're doing some grinding, so kitting up with the respirator. You look kind of like a Halo player. It's going to be hot from that friction, so just don't touch it. Yeah, I got a little bit more to go to get that. The other thing we could do is to drill them out. A good grinder practice, Trevor, but drilling these out would probably have been the better way to go. So I've got some oil and a metal cutting drill bit. Let's get these drilled out. This oil can was actually my grandfather's, so your great-grandfather. You may let that get too hot. Thing about drilling out a screw, Trev, is that they're already hardened. So screws are pretty hard as well, so this drill bit might not be a lot harder than that. It is harder because it's cutting it, but the flakes are so small, it's probably nearly the same hardness. Or this drill bit's already a little bit dull. None of my drill bits are sharp enough to handle these hardened screws, so we're gonna switch back to the grinder to get these out. I'm gonna switch to a grinder with a cutoff wheel on it, see if I can just slice the top off rather than having to grind the whole thing down.
Woo! Let's go! Brain power.
We should have done this from the beginning.
We should have done that from the start.
They're not meant to cut wood. You see what's happening here?
Yeah. Oh no! Oh no!
Right in the noggin.
Let's go!
Now that that bracket's out, we're gonna pull these boards out. There is another screw in the middle. I think it will just rip right out of the board since these are fairly rotten. So I think there's actually screws here and here. These boards are holding together a little better than I thought they were going to. Some of you might be curious why I'm removing this floor. That's primarily because of the weight it's adding. I don't need it to be this thick. I want to reduce the weight as much as possible. While I was cutting that off, I thought of another way to get those boards out, which is I'm going to drill a hole next to the screw to allow for relief when we try and pull these out. Let me see if that worked with this first board. Alright, so plan C. That wood is still too strong for that to work. So I'm gonna use my skill saw to slice these up a little bit so they'll break. I don't want to hit the metal of the trailer below the wood, so I've got this blade depth set to not quite go all the way through the 2x10. Demolition is as much exploration as it is deconstruction. Sometimes you gotta figure out how to get it done. Rusted screw like this, you can just it just breaks right now. I'll do it. Show it to the camera. That's harder than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I thought it'd just be pulling the boards out.
Although the difficulty that it took us to deconstruct this gives me comfort that this trailer was built well. That's a good thing. The next step in this deconstruction process is we're going to cut off some of this metal. The tabs for the gate holders, some of these loops that were used to strap down the wheelchair. Gonna go ahead and take the lights off the back because they're gonna be in a different spot. And then this front section needs to come off too. Trevor's got some homework to do, so he's gonna peel off, but I want him to do one cut with the cutoff blade before he goes. I want him to be able to experience that tool today. We did the grinder,
Oh, okay.
but the cutoff blade is different. So we're just gonna cut this off kind of flat like that. Just keep it flat, don't let it hit that metal. So cut that side off and then come off and cut this side too. Don't force it, you don't want to add too much pressure. So kind of, yeah, that's good. Rest your arm there. Now you got to have your hand back because that doesn't have a guard on it, okay? Okay, that's good. Start the next cut, you want to ease it in. All right, one thing, we will clean this up with the grinder. You don't want to use a cutoff blade to grind. It's just not made for that. All right, Trev, nice job. Fist bump. All right, off to do that homework. I'll bring you back out for the closing. I'm gonna leave that light bracket on there. I may be able to use it where it is. I kept wondering why these rubber pieces were riveted onto the fenders. And then I did that. It's a nice attention to detail. That was a long grind. I almost used all 4 batteries and went through, I think, 3 cutting discs. The reason I took that front edge off is because I want the floor to come flat all the way out to here, which is going to be the front of that triangular fairing on the front of the trailer. So I've got a little more grinding to do to level this out, but I'm glad to have that finished. The final thing I'm going to do is clean this up with a wire cup, paying special attention to the rusty spots, which thankfully is mostly just surface rust. And lastly, I'm going to hand sand and primer the spots where I've got bare metal and I know I'm not going to be welding.
It breaks while we're sitting on it.
It's not gonna break.
The whole thing is bouncy.
It's just because of this one. It's because this is flat right here. So this is because I took the angle off of that. It'll now flex in that direction. So we're gonna put that back on the bottom though.
Oh.
So that'll happen in the next video. We're gonna be welding up this frame to add on the pieces that we need. Bringing that angle on the front, do some pieces on the back, and of course we'll be adding that 22 inches to the end so this guy can lay down inside. Alright, so you learned some stuff in this video?
I did?
Yeah. It's a good start. We got a lot more to go, and appreciate the fact that you're watching. So please keep tuning in as this series unfolds and as Trevor learns new stuff. And hopefully there won't be any snow so I get nailed in the head again with a snowball. It was...
It's pretty epic though.
It was pretty epic, I gotta admit. That's why I did slow-mo on it.
Wait, how do you know that you did slow-mo?
I've already edited that part. Special thanks to our patrons and members for helping make these videos possible. Your support of this channel is an incredible vote of confidence, so thank you for that. As always, my mission, our mission here at Green Shorts is to help you
see green so you could be green.
And save a little green by doing it yourself. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you
Next Saturday.
woo woo.
Hey.